Good morning, Monday, everybody. I hope you all had a good weekend, and since you're watching this video, I would like to say thank you for joining me. I want to look at a couple of bins that are getting ready to harvest or are ready to harvest. This first one that is under the camera light right now is a mixed bin of red wigglers and European night crawlers. And this bin it's almost done. It's not completely done. You're going to see there's still pockets of paper in here. But what I noticed and what I wanted to show you, well, let me show you first some of the worms. There's the red wiggler, E. Andre and E. fetida in here, and then we have Euros in here, and it's a pretty well populated bin. This bin did not have any manure in it, but they really did a great job on the castings. As you can see, there's a lot of cocoons. And this bin, I was sort of experimenting with seeing if the bin became very populated, if they would still continue to produce cocoons. And oh my goodness, did they ever. There's so many cocoons in this bin right now. Now you're not going to see an entire plethora of worms down here because they're most down this end. And this is something I wanted to show you yesterday. Okay, right here is a pair of worms mating. And when I went in this bin yesterday, let me hide these guys. Down this end I added some fresh bedding and a little piece of mango on Friday. And when I went in here yesterday, there were so many pairs of mating worms in here. I was really very surprised. I mean, it's not uncommon to find mating worms, but the number of pairs that I found was very unusual. So here's some of the mango rind, I guess you would call it. Now I doubt, since I found the worms all paired up yesterday, that is still happening today. I don't know how long they stay in mating position for, but I doubt it's 2 days. And you can see some of the worms here looking very healthy. Let's take a look around in here and see what we still see. Yeah, unfortunately, at the time I came down to check and feed the bins, my phone was on the charger, and when I found all the mating worms, I was not able to do a video. I found at least 10 pairs of mating worms, and it was very hard to tell, but in one instance, it honestly looked to me as if there were 3 worms paired up. Now, it's possible, or it could be that they got their bodies configured in a way that it just looked like that. I don't know, but it was very strange appearing to me. And as I suspected, the love fest that was going on down in this corner yesterday is now over. Now, here's the mango pit with lots of flesh on it that these worms are working their way down to. And other than this fresh bedding, that's the only food in here, because they're almost done with this bin, and I'm trying to get them to migrate down to one end and not feed in the rest of the bin. There's enough paper left in the rest of the bin for them to munch on their way down. And by the time they get down to this end where the fresh stuff is, the rest of the bin will be done. And again, let's just take a look at this stuff here. We can turn it over. You'll see how, I hope you're seeing how very pretty the castings are, how dark and loamy. I love the word loamy because it describes something so healthy and rich, and worm castings are that. So, yep, this is looking really good. The mating festival of yesterday, I didn't get a memo in advance to charge my phone, unfortunately. So, I mean, it's not anything we haven't seen before. What was amazing to me, surprising to me, was just how many pairs of worms were paired up in a small area of the bin. Like I said, there had to be at least 10 pairs just in this one section where I added new bedding and some mango. I don't know, I guess mango gets worms in the mating mood. But other than that section down there, you can see these castings they're pretty much complete. There's a few pieces of the flat cardboard paper, the non-corrugated paper, that's been through here a couple of times now, and I won't be putting it back in. I've discontinued the flat cardboard, not because I think there's anything wrong with the ink. There isn't. It is pretty much guaranteed safe, especially if it's from a food product. It is soy-based or natural-based, but it just takes 2 or 3 trips through the bin before it gets thoroughly broken down. They don't really eat it because since it is the flat cardboard, there is no gluing the panels together like there is in corrugated, so there's not anything enticing the worms to really want it. Now here's another pair I hope you can see in my hand. We'll put these lovers down this end. A little piece of mango down here. So yep, this looks really good, and I'm gonna title this video Casting Call, because there are 4 different bins down here calling out the need to be harvested in its entirety, and I don't want to do them all in one video because I'm trying to work on getting my videos shorter. I am someone that could talk about worms endlessly, and because of that I often do, and I forget it's not just me with the worms, that there's an audience on the other side that may not want to hear me ramble for 20 minutes. So I'm working on getting my videos shorter. I guess I just get so excited over. Now this is interesting. Looks like these worms were mating and are in the process of separating. I hope you can see that. Oh, they just did. These 2 were attached and they just separated. I hope I held that in the right place for you guys to see that. I've never seen that before. That's a first for me. And there wasn't any fabric or material or anything in here for them to be stuck to one another with. I guess that was what's referred to as the mating band. Here's a little rock. We don't need that. A mating band, I think, and that's probably what just disconnected. Not positive. I'm familiar with worms mating, but I don't know all the specific terms, like, you know, the joining and the separating. I'm sure there's phrases for all that. Don't need to know that. It doesn't really help me raise my worms any better, so it's kind of on a need-to-know basis what I learn, and I don't need to know the name of the point of disconnection. So, okay, enough of this bin. I'm sure if I dug through this down here thoroughly, there would still be more pairs of mating worms, but I'm trying to get these worms to migrate down and finish what's left in here. So if I interrupt this too much, I'm gonna kind of throw off the flow of worms migrating that way. So let me pause the camera, and I'm gonna grab another bin and put it on top there. Since I'm right at just about the 10-minute mark, rather than pausing the camera, I'm gonna end this video and then do the second bin video.